All right, first fish. There we go. Not a monster, but I'll tell you what, as cold as it is this morning and after that cold front that we got, I'm just happy to have it. All right, folks, I don't know if you can tell just by the way I'm dressed, but it is freezing cold out here. I had to scrape ice off my truck this morning. That's not something you do every day in Florida. I mean, I am in North Florida, but we had a severe temperature drop, not last night, but the night before, and then again we had a really good, harsh, really cold night. And you know, the temperature was in the low 30s this morning, and it's probably still there right now. It's only about 9 o'clock. Well, hopefully that's a good sign. Caught him on a jerkbait. That's what I figured I was going to have to do. I figured it was going to be a jerkbait kind of day. Yes, sir, that's one healthy bass right there. Nice and fat. Alright, so it's 3:30. I went from fishing down almost at the dam to coming up here to where the feeder river comes in. It's, you know, the water temperature is a lot cooler up here, but my hope was that as the sun came up, it would heat up some of these hyacinth mats and I might be able to find some bass hiding out underneath them. That was not the case. It's 3:30. And I'm sitting on 2 fish catches, kind of at a loss for what to do. I think I'm going to go throw one last Hail Mary in a creek that's a few miles from here and just see what I can come up with. Otherwise, this may not be a video at all. I may have to add this in with some footage from another one, but you know, that's winter fishing. You know, sometimes you come out here, you have a really good day of fishing, and then other times you come out here and you get your butt whooped. And that's what's happening today. I'm getting my butt whipped. We'll see what we can get into. Hopefully I can figure something out. Stick around. Wow. Well, after all the torture of today, I guess that one right there makes it worth it. Almost thought I was hung on a weed and didn't even set the hook. Alright, so let's get a quick weight on her and then we'll get some pictures. Alright, there we go. I don't know if you can, I think maybe you can see that a little over 5.5 pounds. Just a short, chubby bass. There she is. I'll take those all day long. Alright, let's get her back in the water. Not gonna lie, that almost didn't happen. Like I said, I went all the way back down to the feeder creek from one end of the lake to the other. And before I made this move, I was probably only about 300 yards from the boat ramp. And, you know, I had to pass by it in order to get back here. And made another run up the lake about 3 miles or so. But, you know, I was a little discouraged. And I almost just went ahead and put the boat back on the trailer and went home. Honestly, for a second there, I thought I had a weed. And it just moved its head a little bit and I felt it and I set the hook. Hopefully it made for good film. Let's see what else we can do. Well, folks, that's a wrap. Just a really slow day. I kind of expected it. That second creek that I pulled into this morning, like I said before, I got 2 bites in about 45 minutes, and yeah, it kind of gave me some hope that it wasn't going to be that tough. I keep a fishing log, and in that fishing log, every time I go fishing, I write down the conditions, the water temperature, what I was using, what depth I focused on, how many I caught, what were the size of the fish I caught. You know, looking back through all of my winter logs, you know, there's a lot of days that I went fishing and caught 1 all day long, and that's just what you have to expect when you go winter fishing. But you know, as long as the lake isn't frozen over, I'm going to go fishing just with the hope that I might get a bite. I can't just sit at home all winter long and wait for the springtime. The other side to winter fishing is you can absolutely catch a giant. Some of my biggest fish, including my personal best, I've caught during the winter time. So if you're not winter fishing, you know, give it a try. You just got to slow down and use baits that you can slow down with. Yes, sir. Here we go, first bass of the morning. Pretty decent one. Alright folks, so time check. It's about 9:15. and that's my first bass. I can't fish all day today like I want to. I gotta make a trip tomorrow and I gotta go and pack. But I got a little bit of time to come out here and go fishing. And I probably spent about 30 minutes on this creek so far. This is where I originally wanted to come, but of course, as I'm passing by stuff on the way here, I'm going to stop and try a couple different things. But this seems to be the creek that I've had the most success in lately. I wanted to come back down here and give it another shot since I only had so much time. But hopefully that's a good sign. We'll see what happens. I've thrown, a couple other things other than a jerkbait. That was my first bite, and that's the first, obviously I haven't got bit on anything else yet. So let's see what else we can put together. Yes, sir. That's a pretty good one right there. Just idling down this bluff here, and I saw a rock pile, and shoot, man, it just looked good, so I turned around and first cast. Got bit on the first cast, so that's good. We'll see if we can duplicate this pattern. Oh, there we go. Little guy, but he sure is healthy. Nice. On the football jig. Alright, so that wraps up another tough winter day on Lake Talquin. Started out this morning, the water temperature was about 55 degrees. I actually came to this creek first thing this morning and worked it over pretty good. I just didn't get any bites in here. Got to that second creek around 9 o'clock or so, maybe a little after. It was really cloudy, so I was hoping that would prolong the morning bite, but you know, there really wasn't a morning bite at all. I mean, in fact, I don't think there's just been a bite at all day long. The second spot I went to, I was just idling along a bluff wall, watching my side imaging. I saw, you know, a pretty good sized rock pile, and so that's when I just shut the engine off and turned around and started working that jerkbait over top of it. And that's where you saw I caught that second one on a jerkbait. That was a pretty decent fish too. I worked down further on that bluff wall with the jerkbait, and I threw, you know, a Senko around a little bit. I came back to that rock pile and I threw a Senko right on top of it, and I believe that bass picked it up as soon as it hit the bottom, because as soon as I started moving my lure, you know, it felt mushy already, and I wasn't even expecting to get bit, and it took me a little while to realize I even had a fish one. Luckily, the bass held on to it for a while, and I was able to capitalize on that. You know, like I said, I can't stay out here all day like I want to. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up. I might hit a spot on the way back to the boat ramp, but probably not. If you enjoyed watching my video, if you learned anything from me fishing, if anything, maybe you learned what not to do. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you'd like to keep track of my progress and keep up with me in my fishing adventures, you know, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to try to put out videos on a weekly basis. However, now that it is getting to be winter time, that might be a little tougher than I thought it was going to be, because in the wintertime you can come out here and you can fish all day and catch one or two fish, and I don't know how I feel about putting a fishing video together with just one or two catches. When I don't want to bore you guys, but anyway, you guys take care, and we'll see you next time.